as the spectrum of the Democratic Party.
Have you considered, for the sake of national unity, selecting or nominating a Republican, someone who voted for President Trump?
Yes, and we still have a lot more appointments to make. I want this country to be united. The purpose of our administration is, once again, united. We can't keep this virulent political dialogue going. It has to end.
Should we expect an announcement?
No.
Not ever or not soon?
No, not soon.
Okay. What about former rivals from your own party, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren? Have you talked to them about cabinet positions?
Well, what I've talked to them. Look, as I said, we already have significant representation among progressives in our administration, but there's nothing really off the table. But one thing is really critical. Taking someone out of the Senate, taking someone out of the House, particularly a person of consequence, is a really difficult decision that would have to be made. I have a very ambitious, very progressive agenda, and it's going to take really strong leaders in the House and Senate to get it done.
The head of the GSA yesterday.
So that was Biden earlier this evening in an interview with Lester Holt on NBC. His first major interview since winning the election. Now, let's be clear, what Holt is asking him about is the construction of his cabinet and how it's going to reflect the diversity of the Democratic Party and the country. So he asks him, will there be a Republican? Will you put Bernie and Warren in particular in your cabinet? If not them, are you looking at putting in people that represent the left wing and progressive parts of the party? And Biden doesn't say he's made any hard and fast commitments. He says nothing's off the table, but he gives hints. He says on the first hand that, Republicans, I'm looking for them. I want Republicans in my cabinet. He says Biden and Warren in general, it's going to be hard to put them in because of the Senate. And he says to the third, and I think this is the most troubling part of this interview, of this clip, that, my cabinet, my administration is already progressive enough. I already have a substantial amount of progressives, basically hinting that Bernie and Warren aren't going to be in, that he's looking to add at least one Republican, and that he's not looking to add any more progressives. That's the signal he's sending in that interview. Again, nothing's finalized, but that's the signal he's sending to the audience. And it's BS. Look, I'll give him, even if we're just playing devil's advocate, that Bernie and Warren coming out of the Senate is hard. They have Republican governors. The Senate will be 50-50 at best if you win both Georgia runoffs. I get him not wanting to pull anybody out from the Senate from any state that doesn't have a Democratic governor. I get that. And even then, he's likely reluctant. But if you really do mean that it's not about excluding Bernie and or Warren in particular, but about the Senate politics, go to Bernie. Make it public that you're basically working with Bernie to find the next labor secretary, that you are working with Bernie Sanders directly to find a person that will fight for the American working class and for American labor unions and for, working people in general and all those sorts of things. Do that. Say, look, Bernie, I can't make you labor secretary because of the Senate politics, but I'll do the next best thing. He hasn't done that yet. And again, we have to be clear, of his existing appointments, there is no one that really represents the Bernie or even Warren wings of the party. So for him to say it's already progressive enough is utterly insane if he means it, and it's utterly disingenuous if he doesn't, because there is no representation for a significant portion of the electorate. The portion of the Democratic electorate that, yes, voted for Biden and Democrats down ballot, but support Medicare for all, a Green New Deal, and other progressive policies that Biden doesn't, those voices still need to be heard because they are significant parts of the country and especially of the Democratic Party. A vast majority of Democrats support Medicare for all. And so you need someone in your cabinet that represents that vision. Maybe you don't want to move there, but you need somebody who, through good faith, is fighting for left-wing values, and you have not put anyone in there yet. You haven't. It doesn't have to be Bernie or Warren in particular, but you need people like them, and you have yet to put them in. And putting in a Republican, like, my goodness, how Pollyanna is Joe Biden? How naive is Joe Biden? Republicans did not deliver this election to him. More Republicans voted for Donald Trump this time than last time. Last time, 90% of Republicans voted for Donald Trump. This time, it was 93%. Basically, Republicans were even more steadfast this time than last time. And so, it's not as if your election was won on the backs of a moderate swing of Republicans to you. It was won off turnout, and it was won off working class people and young people and racialized people, black people in particular, coming out in droves to defeat Donald Trump and to make you president in the process. And those are the people that need to be in cabinet. You don't need to throw in a single Republican. They should not be in your cabinet. And the fact that you're putting them in there shows that, one, again, you're naive, or two, that you put, the Republican Party above your own people. And that's a problem. I get the argument that, you don't just govern on behalf of the people that voted for you. You govern on behalf of every citizen of the country. And that's true and that's noble. But part of politics is also recognizing that there is a way you got power and you want to ensure that those relationships stay strong. Republicans get that. They govern on behalf of the people that brought them to the dance. Democrats need to do the same, at least somewhat. And so don't put Republicans in your cabinet. Put the people that make up the Democratic coalition in your cabinet. That's what you need to do. Embrace your base and lean into them. The first test for this, and this just broke actually around the time the interview was airing, 60% of the country and more than 80% of Democrats want Joe Biden to erase $50,000 of student loans. He can erase up to that amount through executive order and does not need the House and Senate to do so. The vast majority of your party wants it. Every race, every gender, every, level of education, every age group within the Democratic Party, they all want it. Give it to them, Joe, because right now what you're signaling is what Democratic presidents have long signaled, that they care more about appealing to the 3% of Republicans or 5 or 6 or 7% of Republicans that voted for them than the masses of Democratic voters that are loyal to them and the party. Don't make the same mistake. Award your base and don't bend over backwards to award your enemies, and ensure that your cabinet and your administration reflects the entirety of the Democratic, coalition and not just the neoliberal corporate wing. Do I expect Biden to listen to me? No. But if he doesn't, they're going to blow it in 2022 and they're going to blow it in 2024.